Hi everyone, welcome to Lactonist. I'm Shinju, a lactation counselor and a mom. Today we are diving deep into one of the most requested topics breast pumping, when to start, how to do it effectively, mistakes you must avoid, and so much more. Whether you're a new mom navigating breastfeeding or someone preparing to return to work, this video is your complete pumping guide. Stick with me till the end because I'll also be sharing some real life pumping tips, sample schedules, and ways to make your breastfeeding and pumping journey easier and more effective. So, let's get started. When should you start pumping? One of the first questions new moms ask us, when should I start pumping? The answer really depends on your situation. If your baby is born full term, healthy, and latches well, there is actually no need to pump right away. The first few weeks are about establishing your milk supply through direct breastfeeding. However, if your baby is premature in the NICU or struggling with latching, pumping from the very beginning is essential to stimulate and protect your milk supply. Generally, for moms who are exclusively breastfeeding, it's recommended to wait at least 3 to 4 weeks before introducing the pump, unless you need to build a stash early or relieve engorgement. By week 4 or 6, you can start pumping once a day if your supply is stable and baby is feeding well. If you're planning to return to work, start building your stash 2 to 3 weeks in advance, gradually introducing a pump routine that mimics your future work schedule. This helps your body adjust without causing oversupply. Why do moms pump? Mothers pump for various reasons and all are valid. Some pump to relieve engorgement, especially in the early days when the milk comes in rapidly and the breasts feel full and tight. Others pump because the baby can't latch due to medical reasons like tongue tie or prematurity. Pumping can also be a way to increase milk supply, especially if your baby is a sleepy feeder and not nursing effectively. Another major reason is returning to work. Pumping allows moms to continue breastfeeding even when they are away from the baby. It also helps if you want your partner or family to take over some feeds and bond with the baby. Some moms also pump to donate milk, which is a beautiful way to help NICU babies in need. And then there are those who are exclusively pumping, which is a full time job in itself and deserves huge appreciation. Types of breast pumps. There are different types of pumps, and choosing the right one is important. Electric breast pumps are the most commonly used and come in both single and double options. A double electric pump saves time and is ideal if you're pumping multiple times a day or returning to work. If you're an exclusive pumper or have low supply issues, you might even want to invest in a hospital grade pump. These are more efficient and mimic the baby sucking better. Then there are manual pumps which are great for occasional use, travel, or quick relief. They don't require power, but they can be tiring or long term use. Recently, wearable pumps have gained popularity. They are wireless and can be worn inside your bra, offering hands free convenience. However, they are not always as powerful as electric pumps, especially in the early stages. Lastly, hand expression is a powerful, cost free method, especially useful in the early postpartum days or to collect every last drop after a session. How to pump effectively? To get the most milk, you need to set the stage for a productive pumping session. First, find a calm, private space where you can relax. Stress can inhibit your letdown reflex, so consider gentle breast massage or placing a warm cloth on your breast for 2 to 3 minutes. Listening to relaxing music or looking at your baby's photo or video can help stimulate letdown. Stay hydrated and eat a nourishing snack if needed. When pumping, start with the stimulation mode to mimic your baby's quick sucking. Once you see milk flow, switch to expression mode, which uses slower, deep suction. Each session should last about 15 to 20 minutes or until milk flow slows. Make sure your flange size is correct, and incorrect flange can lead to pain, poor output, or even blocked ducts. After pumping, you can also do a few minutes of hand expression to fully empty the breasts, especially if you're building a stash or treating a dip in supply. Sample pumping schedules. Now let's look at some real life sample pumping routines. If you're exclusively pumping, the goal is to mimic a newborn's feeding pattern, about 8 to 10 sessions per day, including 1 to 2 night sessions. This is especially important in the first 6 to 8 weeks when your supply is still being established. For working moms, a good schedule includes nursing your baby before leaving for work, pumping every 3 to 4 hours while at work, usually 2 to 3 times, nursing on demand once back home. Try to maintain consistency even on weekends to prevent dip in supply. If you're just building a freezer stash, try pumping once in the morning when your supply is highest and freeze that milk for the future use. Over 2 to 3 weeks, you'll build a decent supply without stressing your body. Common pumping mistakes to avoid. Even with best intentions, many moms unknowingly make pumping mistakes that affect comfort and supply. One common error is starting too early before breastfeeding is established. This can lead to oversupply or nipple confusion. Another mistake is using the wrong flange size if it's too small or too large. It can cause pain or inefficient milk removal. Also, don't crank the suction up to maximum. High suction does not mean more milk, it can actually damage tissue. Aim for a strong but comfortable level. Avoid going too long between sessions, especially if you're exclusively pumping. Skipping sessions can quickly signal your body to slow down milk production. And finally, many moms get discouraged by low output. But remember, output from a pump does not reflect your milk supply accurately. Your baby is always better at removing milk than a pump. Cleaning and storing milk safely. Keeping a pump parts clean is crucial. After every session, rinse pump parts in cool water to remove milk residue, then wash them with hot soapy water and allow them to air dry. Once a day, especially for younger babies, sterilize parts of using boiling water or a sterilizer. Also, don't forget to regularly inspect and replace worn out parts like valves and membranes to maintain suction. When storing milk, follow the CDC milk storage guidelines. Room temperature 4 hours, refrigerator up to 4 days, freezer ideally within 6 months can last up to 12. Use storage bags or clean containers, label each with date and time, and store flat to save space. Always use the oldest milk first. If you're sending milk to daycare, label with your baby's name and thaw only what's needed. Building a stash without stress. Don't feel pressured to build a huge freezer stash. A few ounces a day adds up. The easiest way is to pump after the first morning feed when supply is naturally higher. Over 2 to 3 weeks, just one extra session can build up enough milk to cover workdays or an occasional outing. Remember, you don't need hundreds of ounces, just enough to match your baby's needs when you're apart. Also, avoid comparing a stash or output with others. Every mom's supply, pumping response, and baby's feeding needs are different. Focus on what works for you, your baby, and your situation. Even 1 to 2 ounces per session is valuable and worth celebrating. Pumping is a skill. Just like breastfeeding, it takes time, practice, and patience. Stay hydrated, eat well, rest when you can, and ask for support when needed. Whether you pump daily or occasionally, whether you feed directly or by cup or spoon, what matters most is that your baby is fed and loved. You're doing an amazing job. Trust your body, trust the process, and don't hesitate to reach out to a lactation professional if you ever feel stuck. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more breastfeeding support, and share it with a mom who might need this. Let me know in the comments, what is your pumping journey like? What did you like me to cover next? See you in the next video. Thank you.